the space between. So lesson 4 from my trip to Japan and Okinawa is about something that is easily overlooked in training, and that is the space between the movements that we do in kata. So in kata, people are often in a hurry just to get to that next technique. You know, one move finishes, a straight to the next one, straight to the next one. And what I was reminded of is that it's in that space in between those movements that is just as important as the movements themselves, and if not more important in some cases. Now, I noticed this when I was watching Hakama Sensei do some calligraphy for me. So when he'd finished one brush stroke, he was very deliberate in the way that he picked up his brush, moved it through the air, and then placed it heavily down on the paper again to get to the next movement. And that movement was already setting up the next stroke. So we kind of have to think about kata exactly the same way. The moment between the technique is where the next technique begins. So basically, it's like that moment that you create tension, or the moment you breathe, the moment you squeeze, the moment you hold your power or you load for the next moment, for the next movement. That's basically the movement in between the movement, and that sets you up for the next one. So it might only last, a fraction of a second, but that fraction of a second completely changes what happens in the next movement. So you're developing this little finite part of your kata. So instead of thinking about kata as a series of separate techniques, start paying attention to what happens in between each technique and watch your kata improve. Because sometimes the most important part of the movements are the space in between and the ones that you can't actually see.